Ariel Brown with Top of the Morning. We have a great show for you. Our show today is about School Court TV, and we have the executive producers, so don't go away.
All rise. School Court is now in session. The Honorable William Cole now presiding. The next case on the docket is case 0201, Healthy Kids USA Initiative versus Winder's House of Young.
Thank you, Bill. Please be seated. If you have a cell phone, please turn it off this time. Go through some quick rules here today and how we're going to proceed this afternoon. Counsel, I'll give you an opportunity to introduce yourselves to the court. You'll have an opportunity to then make a very brief opening statement, followed by arguments from both sides. We will limit that in time as the court deems necessary, and then you'll have an opportunity to make a brief closing statement before the court makes a decision. With that, I would ask plaintiff's counsel to please rise. Introduce yourself to the court.
Good evening, Your Honor.
Good evening.
I'm Skylar McLam, school court attorney, and I'm representing Healthy Kids USA Initiative.
Thank you. Defense counsel, please rise. Introduce yourself individually, please.
You go first.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening, Your Honor. My name is DeAndre Owens, and I'm defending Windsor's House of Yum.
Thank you. Ma'am.
Good evening, Your Honor. I am student attorney Annalie Ellis, and I am defending Windsor's House of Yum.
Thank you, Ms. Ellis.
Good evening, Your Honor. I am student attorney Deja Burnett, and I'll be defending Winter's House of Yum.
See, we have the big corporate attorneys in the house today. Brought the whole crew with you.
Welcome back. We're having a great time here with Mo and Sterling. Is TV Court aired on the internet?
Yes, we have a TV channel, School Court TV, on YouTube. But we also have it on our website itself, too. So if you go to schoolcourttv.org, you make your way down to videos. All the episodes we tape, season 1 and season 2 is actually on right on the site. So go to YouTube is one part of it, but it's there too as well.
Tell her also the channels with Comcast and the Fios. With Comcast, if you have Comcast TV, it's channel 206. With Fios, it's channel 465, and digital is what, 45.2.
45.2.
Yes. And the times that it comes on, though?
Saturday mornings at 8 o'clock and Sunday mornings at 8:30. We actually kind of dominate it a little bit and we move it around to different stations, but those are the two main times and days I should say, that School Court TV comes on with a new episode. Saturday mornings at 8 and Sunday mornings at 8:30. So what we're going to do too, we're also going to be on channel 75 on Thursdays, 9 to 10. So we're expanding out School Court TV. We want everybody, we want every child to be part of School Court TV. And that's the thing about School Court. We don't necessarily look for the greatest kids. I mean, we want them to, but we look for the ones that's bashful and the ones that's shy. A good for example is when we went to the balls when we were casting. Some of the kids actually said, I don't want to do that. I'm too scared. And I said, that's the reason why you need to be doing it, right? Yeah. That's the reason why. I said, Mom, get him back here. Get him back here. So that's what we're doing. So we're bringing in all the kids. It doesn't really matter where they are. In terms of if they want to do it or not. But we're expanding it out to every station. We're trying to get into different markets to expand this out as well. Okay. Yeah.
And I know Mo's talked about mentoring, and the mentoring is we have actual attorneys. They come in and mentor these students. They're actual attorneys. They give of their time. They donate their time on the weekends, and they come out and sit down one-on-one with these students and mentor them. We also have business people that come out and donate their time. We're always looking for attorneys to help out on school court because it's as our show grows, we get more students. We always need attorneys. So that's something we always look for. Our judges, I'll touch on a little bit. The judges that we have are mostly we always strive to get attorneys. Have been attorneys. They may be in another field, but they were once an attorney. We've had been very fortunate to have some very distinguished guests such as the Baltimore County Executive, Kevin Cabinets. We've had various city council people. We had
Doug Gansler,
Attorney General, Maryland Attorney General. We had just recently, December 21st, Congressman Dutch Rupert came on to the show. And the reason these people come on to the show is they don't need this exposure. They already have it. They come on to help the students,
right?
To show them. And what we tell the students to give is, look, you can be a congressman. You can be an attorney general. Don't have any fear.
So are all the mentors attorneys?
90% of them are attorneys. As I also said, we do have some very distinguished business people that come on. Okay. You know, we've had the Director of Communication for the Attorney General, David Paulson. He's not an attorney, but you know, he has all the skills. And we also want the students to learn, because like I said, it's not to make them attorneys. You know, we want them to be strong business people, strong negotiators.
Yeah, so if you have business executives out there, we want those leaders as well, because now we teach them a different style as well. You know, how to communicate, be tactful, that type of thing. To be able to, you know, walk with a big stick, but very tactfully get what you want. So we teach them all aspects of that. Sterling is absolutely right. And by the way, you know, when you're talking about attorneys, you know, it might be a good time probably to say too, we're also looking for, you know, maybe, let's just say advanced students, maybe paralegals. Any students that's out there that wants to be part of School Court TV and come into our mentoring process. We'll be talking to University of Baltimore.
Terry Hickey.
Terry Hickey.
He's a law professor.
He's a law professor there. He's coming on
he'll be our next judge.
On the 25th. So, and he's promised to bring some students as well. So, if you're out there, students, and you know you're doing it, doesn't really matter what schools you may be attending. We want you. We want to be part of School Court TV. Come in and help us, you know, with these students and get them ready for their next level of whatever life may bring.
So, what is the future vision and mission for School Court TV?
Well, you know, Sterling and I, we talk about it all the time. You know, we've been having some followings from California, you know, from Hollywood. You know, we've gotten over 61 hits in the last month and a half. So, you know, somebody's watching at this. So our goal is right now is to take it national. We want to take it national. However, make no mistake, if it goes national, we still want the local attention. We still want to take the kids locally from every state, get them ready, and then take them national. That's what we're trying to accomplish.
And what we want to do is we want to get the schools involved. And we want to have schools, so to speak, compete against each other. You may have Baltimore County schools challenging, you know, and the plaintiffs from Baltimore County schools and the defendants from Anne Arundel County.
Oh, Catholic school. Doesn't really matter, right?
It doesn't really matter. But if we can get the schools involved, and because we feel it's an educational tool.
Okay. So do you visit any schools?
We are in the process of now, yes, we've been working with the Catholic Archdiocese. We've been working with some of the Baltimore County schools. And this is a continuing process as School Court grows. That's the direction that we're going in.
The sad thing is that originally our vision was really to have the schools competing with each other. But of course, you know, with the red tape with, you know, city and governmental agencies, it's always tough. So we actually had to go to Plan B real fast. And that's exactly what we teach our, you know, the students of School Court. Always have Plan A, B, and C, and always be ready, and always be thinking inside, outside, and around the box. And that's what we're trying to get out. Okay. So we went to Plan B, and then we started to cast, you know, from acting agencies, talent agencies, at the malls, like Sterling said, festivals, and we getting a lot of students. In fact, we casted 63 kids for season 2. So again, like I said earlier. I believe it was, I don't have the exact date, but I know it's March. If you go on the website, you'll actually see the dates that we're going to be casting for season 3. So anybody out there that wants to be part of School Court TV, you want to come and try out, you know, give us a shout out. You know, go to the website, www.schoolcourt.org, and send us a contact. We'll get that over, and we'll set up some time for you guys to come in.
You don't have to just, you know, this is not Baltimore City. We've been handling people from Montgomery County, Prince George's County.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be doing a taping in February.
Virginia. We've had people came from Virginia.
The Harford County Executive has agreed to be on the show. So, you know, students, wherever you're at, you know, contact School Court and come be a part of School Court.
Okay, now we're going to go into a break. We'll be right back.
Ms. McClam, please give us your opening statement on behalf of Healthy Kids USA Initiative.
I'm representing the Healthy Kids USA Initiative, and we are suing Winters House of Yum for $280,000 of an estimated amount of money lost over a 5-year period. We had to deal with the schools first, and the kids enjoyed our lunches. They had no complaints, and they bought them every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McClam. Who's giving the opening statement on behalf of Windsor's House of Yum?
I'm defending Winters House of Yum. Winters House of Yum has been in business for 20 years, and they have never had a complaint from parents, the school, or any other businesses that we have been in competition with. We are here today to prove my client is innocent.
Thank you. Are there any other of your co-counsel that wish to make an opening statement? Thank you. Ms. McClam, you may go ahead and proceed with your arguments.
After the aggressive advertising, children found out toys and candy were involved and thought that it was worth trying out. But that's bribing the children, and that's one of the reasons that we are losing business.
Let me ask you a quick question. I'm going to stop you right there. So your client is providing food to school kids.
Yes.
Their client is competing with your client.
Yes.
And they did what in order to entice students?
They aggressively advertised toys and candy.
And they then took business away from your client.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Keep going.
And right here in this the requirements you need to be a school lunch program made by the United States of America Congress, candy is not defined as acceptable. Candy isn't considered nutritionally adequate. This is a candy bar, just like regular candy that they're giving. 3 grams of protein versus 11 grams of fat in there, and they're trying to tell us that this candy will give you more of an energy boost than, but it's more harm than good if it's 3 grams against 11 grams.
Is that the good kind of fat?
No.
No. Okay. Did you bring enough to share? No. Okay, keep going. You've got a few more minutes.
So if they're telling us, we serve good, healthy, hearty lunches that the kids enjoy. They have, like I said, no complaints, and we were here first selling good, hearty lunches with no bribery at all, which they're doing.
Okay. And your client has been harmed how?
Well, after the children are finding out that they are after the children are finding out that with every meal they get a piece of candy and a toy, they've been trying theirs out and leaving ours. We have healthy lunches, and if they're saying candy doesn't give you a boost, if kids wanted a boost, they would have had a healthy lunch, they would have had a healthy breakfast, not candy for breakfast. If they actually wanted to have a boost, if they wanted to stay awake in school, they would get If that candy was made to give you a good boost in school, then they'd eat it for breakfast. They'd eat it for lunch.
Why not put a toy in your lunch?
Because we don't think it's fair to bribe kids.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Now, we've talked a lot about school court TV. What happens if the kid doesn't win the case?
Well, you know, when the students go into the courtroom, they act as a plaintiff, act as a defendant, present their case to the judge, and the judge does make a ruling. Somebody won that case and somebody lost it. But I'll say this, and then I'll turn it over to Mo a little bit, but in school court, when we tell them and drill them, there is no winners and there's no losers in school court. It's all about learning. It's an education.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm saying I want to turn it back over to Mo because he's come up with another idea. He's very creative to get the public involved with it. And I'll turn it.
And let's talk about that for a second. That's very, very important to us as producers and executive producers of the show. And like someone said, we let the parents know and we let the students know. But if you lost the case, doesn't necessarily mean that you didn't do a good job or a great job. Okay, because the judge is going to rule based on law. Mm-hmm. So he might be the best attorney. I've seen the best attorney walk out of a courtroom and says, "You know what happened?"
Performance.
Okay. But there's right and wrong, and so the judge is going to rule on right or wrong or on law, right? So what we've done is that on season 3, we're going to have 3 judges in addition to the regular judge, and they're going to be commenting on the student. In other words, saying, you know what, the plaintiff really did a great job and should have really won based on the debate skills and the research skills and how well he presented. However, he lost because of law, but that didn't mean he didn't do a great job. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we're going to leave the audience and the students and the parents with that at the end, so they know. But in addition to that, we actually set up a telephone number that the public can actually vote that person back in because of what school court's all about. Because of the performance, the presentation skill, and how well they did their research and everything else. So you see what I'm saying? So the judge may rule on law, but everybody outside can vote them back in. The public can vote them back in.
The other student was actually stronger performance-wise with all the facts he had. But in court, obviously you got to go by the law.
Right.
And that when it comes down to that law, that's what the judge is ruling on. But it doesn't mean that student did a bad job. They may have done the best job, and we have some creative students in there. And one of the cases is actually was a cell phone. They said that the person was using a cell phone, it blew up, the battery blew up and burnt their face. Well, they called the witness and he come in with bandages all over him and everything, and the student attorney went up to him and he was questioning everything, and he said, well, if you have the cell phone over on this side, how come this side's burnt? He said, you didn't get that from the cell phone. You got that from a microwave you were using at home, weren't you? And he kept questioning. He says, because he says, what happens? A cell phone's not a bomb, but he said, Your Honor, if you don't read everything and you put aluminum foil in a microwave and you turn it on, you create a bomb. It's not the manufacturer's fault. So he was very creative in doing that. And then the student finally, the witness finally admitted. He says, well, you're right. I didn't get this from the phone. It was from a microwave, and it was a cheap one. Yeah. So that's what school courts are really about, is to bring the inner self out of these students.
Okay.
Well, we try to teach them life skills, things they need to be doing, the right things to be doing, like we were talking earlier about, driving while having a cell phone. Okay, there were real cases like where accidents happen, so we actually tried those.
Cyberbullying.
The real cases. We had one in Hartford County, a case that we tried, and it was about a mom and a dad who dropped off their son with an ATV at the aunt and uncle's house, but when they dropped off the ATV, the three-wheeler, they didn't drop off a helmet. Well, the 14-year-old went out and rode the bike, and he hit a tree, and he died. And so we had 2 14-year-olds that was actually trying the case. Now, don't think for a second that those kids didn't learn, because the defense side of it said, and he was a 14-year-old boy, he went online, he did all the research. He said the parents knew how dangerous this vehicle were. You know, they knew when they bought it. He says in 2010, the statistics, these many kids had accidents with ATV. Okay? They read the manual. Yet they dropped the kid off with no helmet. Right. But it was a case where the mom and dad was suing the aunt and uncle for $30,000 for neglect. So it's amazing, you know, how we teach them life skills in addition to educating the public, like what we're talking about before signing under seal.
How is the show sponsored?
Well, right now it's being funded 100% by yours truly. So what we're looking for sponsorship. We're looking for law firms to get involved. Because ultimately, you know, they're teaching, you know, that's what we have attorneys that are teaching, you know, these students. So we're looking for sponsorship by, first and foremost, attorneys.
Elaborate a little bit on that, because you're looking for a law firm, but what do you have to offer that law firm that you put together?
The thing is, and that's very good, I'm glad you pointed that out. You know, what we have to offer the law firms, they can actually sponsor either the plaintiff's attorney or the defense attorney. Right. Or they can sponsor to be the judge for that particular week. In addition to that, we actually have the students that are saying, you know, I'm Sterling Shepherds, and I'm from the law firm of Alex Martic and Associates. You follow me? Mm-hmm. And the defense side is doing the same thing. And so they get a lot of publicity. And basically, all through the whole half-an-hour shows, and all the shows we do, they get a lot of publicity in terms of getting the law firm and their name out there. So it pays them tenfold. And then we will repeat the shows because we have a bunch of time that we run it on Saturdays and Sundays. In addition to, we go on Saturdays on Channel 75. But, you know, on the Saturdays and Sunday shows, you know, we're actually airing it 2 and 3 times. So on Saturday and Sundays, we actually dominate, you know, that Fox Network 206 or 505, 465. So they will see from 7 to 7:30, from 7:30 to 8, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and then we're also talking about a 12 o'clock spot as well. So the exposition that these law firms are getting is bar none. It's the best.
And we also look, obviously, look for small businesses, because a lot of small businesses are starting up. They don't have a big budget.
Yes.
You know, so they can advertise on our, get a 30-second commercial or so on our station at a very affordable, and it helps them reach out to a large, vast audience quickly and grow that business. So, you know, we have it's all types of sponsors that, you know, that we can help grow their business.
Where is the actual set if kids wanted to be involved with the show?
We have different locations. Again, if you go to the website, we have shot in Annapolis Historic Courtroom. We have shot at the Towson Circuit Courtroom. Getting courtrooms is on a timely schedule is very difficult, and that's a question I'm going to throw right back at Mo again, because he's so passionate about school court, and that's why I'm throwing it back.
You know, the ultimate experience is to have the kids to go to the courtrooms at the end, because that's what we're doing. We're training them and getting them ready for D-Day. And D-Day is actually walking in the courtroom, and we open the big doors, and the kids are seeing these courtrooms, like eyes pop open, it's like, wow, we're here. Right? So that's our ultimate. The problem we're having with that is, because it's school time now, you know, the courtroom's not open late at night. So what we've done is we invested a lot of money, and we've actually built our own studio. So we have our own studio TV courtroom. But, you know, we're open. For example, the taping that we have scheduled for February 1st.
Harford County.
It's going to be in Harford County. In a Harford County courthouse. So, you know, we're looking for all those opportunities. We're looking for attorneys to be mentors. We're looking for law firms to be sponsorship. We're looking for our executives, our city and county executives, you know, i.e. the governor and all those people to step up and support school court and says, you know what, you want a courtroom? No problem, because this is all for the growth, you know, for the community and development of the kids. And so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for all that support. But ultimately, we're looking for, you know, sponsorships.
The home base courtroom is located in Baltimore City. That's the courtroom that Mo had built. It's in Baltimore City.
Yes, we actually built. That's what I was talking about, the studio. We built our own studio, our own courtroom. Yeah, and it is wild. We've been told wow many times on that.
It's available 24/7.
So you guys are very serious about this, huh?
Absolutely, and you know the investment that we make in school court. I mean, it's costing us probably close to $10 grand a month, and we've been shelling it out, because when we see. You know, what like Sterling was talking about, that 10-year-old girl, when she came to us, and she was speaking like this, and she couldn't look at you in the eye. And then a couple of months later of mentoring, you know, she was so brave and bold, and when she got interviewed at the station, and when I was talking about, we actually had, myself and the attorney, we actually had tears in our eyes. We went up and gave each other a high five because we did it.
Right.
We did it. We built her. We built that little monster we wanted to build.
Well, gentlemen, this has been so interesting. I'm learning so much today. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show today. Again, this is Ariel Brown.
Windsor's House of Yum, who will be taking this portion. Go ahead.
Windsor's House of Yum is deeply sorry that the Healthy Kids Initiative is having a hard time competing with them. Both companies provide a nutritional and complete meal. Windsor's House of Yums is just tastier and more fun. Windsor's House of Yum has a better marketing plan. Now, Your Honor, instead of bringing this matter to court, Healthy Kids Initiative should attempt to improve their marketing team. We live in a capitalist society which gives every company the opportunity to succeed or fail based on their own business plan. Healthy Kids did try to improve the taste of their lunches, and it is not our fault that they are finding it difficult to compete with our client. Windsor's House of Yum meets all federal and local guidelines for school lunches. If this were in question, the complaint should come from parents, school board, and or the state.
And that did not happen?
We have had no such complaints.
Thank you.
Is it appropriate to include candy or toys in school lunches? We believe it is not only fair but beneficial to kids.
Same thing.
Okay. Thank you. The court is going to take a brief recess and we'll be back momentarily with a decision.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The court has taken an opportunity to review the merits of the case. This is very challenging, and this often appears today to be a case of David versus Goliath. And we all know how that ends, but unfortunately in the real world, sometimes Goliath does win. And more often than not, frankly, in a capitalist society, Goliath wins. In this case, the challenge is, of course, making certain that the behavior and activity of Windsor's House of Yum is not damaging the kids. And the court has not found today that that is in fact happening. The Healthy Kids USA initiative can continue to provide its healthy lunch and can continue to operate in the fashion that it has, as can Windsor's House of Yum. There is nothing that stops them. The court has found no reason to prevent them from selling candy or from including candy or toys in their product, and in fact says to Healthy Kids USA initiative, you can do the same if you want to try to avoid losing that business. And as difficult as it is, this is a situation where there really is no right or wrong. The court will monitor this case closely and will not hesitate to bring both parties back if they're not able to operate in a peaceful existence within our school system. With that, this case is dismissed, ruling in favor of Windsor's House of Yum.
We want to show them how to wear the school court banner. In school court, they learn how to debate in the best of manners. First, they get hired, get a smile from employer, preparing out future business leaders and lawyers. Learn how to fact find info on the back like competitors like football sack time. Whether a defendant or plaintiff, I won't bend, and I will do the best that I can in school court.
This is Ariel Brown once again, and we've had a great time on Top of the Morning. See you next time.